Hear ye, here comes the judge. It's the Yogi Judge, Judge Dawson, with another podcast aimed at giving you information and tools that you can use to energize your life. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Today, I am on location. I am in beautiful San Francisco, California at a judicial training. And I just wanted to still pop in because you know what? You are important to me. Your wellness is important to me. Your mentality is important to me. So I have to make time for you. So, my message for you today is this. Self-awareness will shorten suffering. Self-awareness will shorten suffering. All right, so let me give you an example from something I dealt with in court. You know, I have people that come in my court for various situations. Probation is often an option. Jail is always an option, and then even financial situations. And as a judge, I have to quickly make decisions on how do I sentence this person, right? How do I affect this person or make them suffer, quote unquote, suffering the consequences of their actions? And one of the things I look to is to whether or not this person was self-aware about what went on. Self-aware. And why is that important to a judge? Because if you have self-awareness, then it's a good chance you may not repeat the cycle. In fact, you may be better suited to break cycles with self-awareness. Now, how does that apply to you? Wherever you are, if you are a teacher, an employer, an employee, if you are just a person trying to make it through life and just be positive in your family, we need to know that self-awareness will shorten suffering. So, for instance, if someone makes you mad, your family member, your brother, your sister, the job, your boss, oftentimes we just react, right? And we're always just putting the blame on somebody else. But how often do we say, you know what? What part did I play in this? That's self-awareness. What about exactly the thing that they did to me or what they said to me? What about it is triggering something from my past that I didn't deal with? That's self-awareness. When he or she said no to me, were they saying no to me right now, or were they saying no to something that I just didn't let go of that continued to happen over and over and over again? See, that is the self-awareness that will shorten your suffering, because now all of a sudden you're not mad as long as you would have been. You're not as disappointed. You aren't so mad that you lose control. So understanding that self-awareness will shorten your suffering, now you know that's a tool. So here's the question. How do I utilize this tool, Judge? Well, let me give you the nuts and bolts really quickly. One way that you can be self-aware is that you can pause before you react. You know, and you'll hear this come up in my podcast over and over and over again because I'm telling you the ways that you can be successful. Pause before you react. And now you're not going to just pause. You're going to ask yourself a couple of critical questions. What is it about what they did or said or what happened that triggered me? That is an important question. The next question is this happening to me individually, or is this just something that the other person is going through? Let me show you how that shows up. Everybody heard of road rage? Yeah, road rage, right? That's a good example because people get so mad about road rage, and guess what? They suffer because the next 5 minutes you're in your car and you're still mad about that person that cut you off or the person that gave you the finger. That's an example of how you increase the pain, you increase the suffering because you're not aware of what's going on. So what's really going on? Well, the self-awareness comes in like this. I don't even know that person. They're not mad at me. They were just going through something. So that's an example how when you pause and ask yourself the relevant question, you can slow down the suffering, right? So ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to be self-aware because self-aware people become cycle breakers. And that's exactly what we all are doing. All right, look, my podcasts are normally short, 5 minutes and out, right? I do offer extended trainings and mentorships and all types of conferences and things where we can connect and get really, really deep into some of these topics. But these podcasts are so that you can get a nice burst of energy and positivity and spread it with people you know. So if you like what you heard here, follow me on all my social media platforms. It's at Judge Dawson. Go to my YouTube page at Judge Dawson. Even go to my website, judgedawson.com, and sign up for my email list. Again, I am traveling. I'm in San Francisco. I'm walking outside in the middle of my conference. You hear the noise, you hear the cars, but that wasn't going to stop me from coming to you because you are important to me, your mental health and your wellness. So come back so that we can continue to grow together. All right, it's Judge Dawson. Until next time, be the absolute best that you can be, and namaste.